Hi, Carl. Hi, everybody else. I hope you're having a lovely day. It's a beautiful, sunshiny day again here in the autumn. And even though we're all home and isolated by ourselves, there are some things that make the day rather lovely. And they're the sunshine, the birds singing. I just took some scones out of the oven and they were delicious. So I'm hoping you're having a lovely day. And I'm going to read The Sand Horse by Turnbull and with pictures by Michael Foreman. The Sand Horse. There was once an artist who lived in St Ives. He lived with his wife and baby in a house by the sea. Sometimes the artist worked in his studio, but on fine days in summer he went to the beach and made animals in the sand. He could make dogs and cats and seals and dolphins, but mostly he made horses, because horses, he said, were the most beautiful animals of all. One morning, the artist woke to a brisk blue day with a choppy sea and white crests on the waves. "Look, white horses," said his wife. "When the sea is rough and the waves have white tops, people call them white horses." The artist saw them, far out in the bay, plunging and galloping, tossing spray from their manes. "Today I shall make a horse," he said. He went to the beach. He marked out his pitch, put his hat down on the sand, and started to work. First, he fetched water from the sea. He splashed some onto the dry sand. He patted and moulded the sand. Have you built things in the sand at the beach before? Or maybe in a sandbox? Maybe at kinder? The horse began to appear. Muscles and hooves, raised head and rippling mane. The beach filled with people. They stopped and admired the sand horse. They threw money, and the coins chinked in the artist's bowl. The horse grew. He was a galloping horse, galloping forever on his side. All day the artist worked on his horse, shaping the muscles of his legs and neck, twisting each curl of his mane. He worked until the sun set and the beach grew cold. Families began leaving. They folded their deck chairs and shook sand from their clothes. The artist scooped up the coins in his hat and he went home. The sand horse woke up. He was alive, but he could not move. He opened his one eye, but all he saw was clouds. He listened with his one ear. He heard seagulls. He heard the boom and hiss of the sea, and faintly he heard the crash of waves, and he heard neighing. A seagull landed on his back and walked about, jabbing the air with his sharp beak. "Seagull," said the sand horse, "what's that neighing I hear?" "That's the white horses," said the seagull, "out in the bay." "What are they doing?" "They're prancing and frisking and flicking their tails." Where are they going? Everywhere, said the seagull. Newland, Polperro, Mevagissey, Marizonia. I want to go with them, cried the sandhorse. You? The seagull wheeled up in the air laughing, and all his friends joined in. He swooped down again and said, You are only a sandhorse. You can't go with them. The sandhorse tried to move. He was a galloping horse, but he was fixed in the sand. He could not go with them. The sky darkened, the seagulls flew away, the boom of the sea grew louder. Much closer now, the sandhorse heard the white horses neighing. Come with us, they called. The sea crashed on the shore, flinging spray over the sandhorse. Come with us. The sea crashed again and again, and the sandhorse was soaked with spray. Come with us, called the white horses, to Sennin, Land's End, and the long ship's light. A wave broke and flooded the sandhorse, drenching his head and his mane. I'm coming, he called. Wait for me. Another wave broke, and the sea ran foaming all around the outline of the sandhorse, filling every space. The sea sucked and pulled. It was pulling him down the beach. I'm coming, he cried. A huge wave rolled up the beach. It reared, curled over, and smashed down upon the sandhorse, washing away his mane, his head, his legs, and his body. It went hissing back down to the sea, dragging the sandhorse with it. The sandhorse felt waves buoying him up. Amongst the waves, white horses were prancing. He neighed and tossed his mane. His hooves struck spray from the sea. I can move, he cried. I can gallop. He frisked, he galloped, and he swished his white tail. All around him, the white horses plunged and jumped the waves. To Seaman they neighed, to Land's End and the Lizard. They galloped away, and the sandhorse went with them. Next morning, when the artist came down to the beach, people looked at the smooth sand and said, It's a shame, all that work washed away. But the artist smiled. He knew where the sandhorse had gone. And that was today's reading. So I hope that you've had a good day and that you have a good night and you sleep well and soundly and you are loved by those around you. I love you, Carl. Wish I could be there. But don't forget, Grandma always loves you. Bye.